Hey! Happy Saturday. How's everyone doing? Sorry, it's evening. It's evening here. Yeah, so a little bit change of plans. I had a couple of things going on. One, it's my wife's birthday today, so she asked if I can help her with bingo, and she does bingo every Saturday at a assisted living community, and I usually can't help because I'm streaming. And she asked if I could, and I said, hey, why not? So that's where I've been is helping with bingo. I was the assistant to the manager of bingo this weekend. So that's what I just got back from doing. So I apologize a little bit late. I was gonna, so I threw it in Discord. I wasn't sure if anyone saw, but had to postpone it a little bit. So, and this one is gonna try to cut off right on time. So anyways, enough about that. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you being here on a Saturday evening for some, later in the night for most. if you're in the US, if you're in Europe, man, it's really late there. If you're in Asia, it's even later. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Hey, Mr. Monsoon, thank you for the resub. Tier 1, 3 months. Let's call him out. Well, I'll call him out right now. Thank you so much. Let's go, Tim. Mr. Monsoon, how's it going, man? How you doing? 18-wheeled Ray, man. Thank you so much. There was a resub. Tier 1, 4 months, 1 month straight. Thank you so much. And then there was 300 bits by 18-wheeled Ray. Thank you so much, Ray. Appreciate it. Thank you. Gnomes, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So if you're new to the stream, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. It's a little bit different than what we do or what you usually see me doing on YouTube. It's a little bit different. It's kind of open. We talk about all things tech, things we're working on, things we're struggling with, things we're excited about. Feel free to throw it in chat and we'll talk about it. We'll read it. Yeah, lights are going too. Yeah, it's a good Saturday. Hey, 18-wheeled Ray, resub. Wait, did I read that right? Resub. Tier 3, 4 months. Wait, do you have 2 subs? How is this working? Whoa. Wow, thank you so much. There are 2 subs, I think. If I'm reading that right. Dude, 18-wheel right? Thank you so much. Tier 3, 4 months, and a Tier 1, 4 months? Dude, thank you so much, 18-wheel right. Appreciate it, man. Dude, I think that's right. That is awesome. Thank you. Twisted, oh man, I got to get this right. Twisted Grim. Resub Prime, 3 months. Thank you so much. Good job, Tim. Keep going. I've had my Grafana. I thought you said your grandpa. I was like, whoa, your grandpa's on here. All right. Great job. Great job, Tim. Keep going. I had my Grafana going for a while. Nice. I have been integrated with my thermostat and room sensors. Go-based Prometheus exporter. Nice. So talking about exporters, you're using a Go-based one for other devices to collect metrics from. So awesome. I'm going to get into that too. This is laying down a little bit of foundation for some other Grafana stuff I want to do. I'll get into that too here in a little bit. So what was I talking about? I was talking about if you're new here. So we talked about if you're new here. If you're not new here, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Thanks for taking time out on your Saturday. We are going to go about an hour, roughly. I have to take my wife out to dinner. We're going out to dinner. We're going out to the far away St. Paul, which is kind of funny. We live in Minneapolis, but St. Paul seems so far away, but it's only like 9 miles. Everybody calls it the Twin Cities, but most people in St. Paul and Minneapolis don't go back and forth. I mean, you kind of do now, but it's people kind of stick to their city. So anyways, be heading out there for some dinner and hanging out. So I'm gonna end promptly. So anyways, if you're got something you want to talk about, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it in chat. Throw it in there. Just called out all the events. Thank you so much. So what have you guys been working on? Throw it in chat. Let's talk about it. I see stuff in chat already. I'm definitely going to get through everything I possibly can. So what I've been working on is, you probably saw it this morning, working through just trying to make Prometheus and Grafana easy for people, because it's hard. I'm not going to lie. Hey, and thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Grafana and Prometheus, setting that up, especially in Kubernetes, is hard. Setting it up anywhere is hard. I mean, you have like 15 million guides on how to do it. You have 15 million ways on how to do it. And at the end of the day, if you're configuring it all at the same time, it's just like this information overload. Like, what do I do? What is Prometheus doing? What is Grafana doing? Where does this stuff live? And so over the last, I'd say about, I've had it in my production cluster for about, I'd say a couple months now, but I decided to kind of break it down and put it on my new test cluster, mainly because my production cluster is running Flux. It's way different getting things installed in there. A lot of the Helm values are the same, but I was like, okay, I'm going to break this down, try to make this easy, because getting monitoring and metrics in your cluster is pretty important, and it's pretty cool too. And, when I set out to do this, I wanted all of my charts to work. I wanted all the work, and I wanted to be able to share that configuration with everyone. So that's what I did. So it's pretty awesome once you get it going. I got some stuff planned for doing more Grafana stuff, obviously, other devices, but also thinking about touching on Alert Manager. But it's like, I think someone said it in the comments the best today. I think they said it better than I can describe it. Oh, great, now I can get paged at home. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. But at the same time, I do want to know if my services are down. Right now, I use Uptime Kuma, which is great. It's both status and notification and monitoring, along with uptime. And I'm thinking about doing the same thing with PagerDuty, mainly because, not PagerDuty. Whoa, I am really going enterprise. No, not PagerDuty. We're not going that far. Alert Manager. We'll stop there. So I want to do the same with Alert Manager, just so me personally, I understand how to configure it, because Alert Manager is what a lot of companies use. So I want to figure out how to use it so I can, talk intelligently about it. I have configured it a little bit, but I need to break that one down too. So anyways, thanks for being here. Let's get into comments. Let's actually see who was here first. I know who was here first, but it doesn't count. So who was here first? I know it was PC Geek because I told the mods about a half hour ago. I said, hey, I'm done with bingo. I'm gonna go live. So if you're there, that's great. And PC Geek said he'd be here, so I know he was first, and I did see it, and he was first. So who was here first? That's not 18-wheeled Ray. 18-wheeled Ray, how's it going, man? Good to see you. And thank you for multiple subs and for bits. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's get into chat right here. What's up, everyone? CBN Sandwich. Hey yo, how's it going? Hey y'all, there's a lot of chit chat. I love it. Hey y'all, now it's a party. Now it is a party. Not a snowman. Now I'm officially 25 minutes, 25 years old. I'm in Europe, so it's 0:25. Wow. Was it 25 seconds too? Hey, not a snowman. Happy birthday. You're a young buck. 25? Ooh, if I was 25 again, ooh, yeah. I mean, but probably be doing the same thing I'm doing now. Just, pretty much. So I don't even know. Maybe that sounds appealing so I could live a little bit longer. But man, happy birthday. Good to see you. Thanks for spending some time here on your birthday. Let's see. PC Geek, trying to stay cool. Ain't that the truth? I didn't talk about weather, but hey, Mr. Woot, is resub, tier 1, 2 months. Mr. Woot, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, got some of the lights going. There they go. And Jan Boy, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Mr. Woot, tier 1, 2 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. But going back to PC Geek's comment about staying cool, yeah, I hear you, man. I mean, I know it's been really hot out east. It's been hot out west. It's hot in the Midwest. It's hot everywhere right now. It's kind of crazy. It's really hot and really dry. I think I'm not ready for this weather. I never am. And I'm sure my electrical bill is through the roof. It's like I'm cooling off the house with AC, but then I'm heating it up too with servers. And the servers, the higher the ambient temperature in there, the harder those fans got to work. It's just like this monster that just keeps eating hot air and getting hotter and hotter and hotter. I need to get the hot air out of there one of these days. My Raspberry Pi back there is doing a good job of telling me what the temperature is back there. So every time I see a red ghost, that means it's over 80. Yellowish is in the 70s. And then there's the blue one, or green and blue, I think. I rarely see the green. I see the green in the wintertime. I've never seen the blue. So anyways, that's on my list of stuff to figure out, is how to get warm air out of there. Anyways, wouldn't we all love to? Let's see. I don't know. Home Assistant, franchise. How's it going? Good to see you. Home Assistant plus Tasmota, firmware stuff, I think, related. I don't know Tasmota, but I think it's something to do with firmware. But anyways, Home Assistant, so awesome. Yeah, awesome. How many devices? What are you hooking up? Yeah, it's fun, and you can go really deep into. Why are those flashing? I don't know. They're just gonna flash. You can go really deep on Home Assistant, and maybe you'll never come back. But that is awesome. Metroid Man, not a snowman. Happy birthday. I agree. Happy birthday, not a snowman. Kai, what do you think about TVs as your main monitor? Maybe look at last post Discord setups. I considered it before, but I guess some of the downsides, at least you know, that when I was considering it was, you know, DPI isn't that high. You know, you could see pixels if you're really close, refresh rate. I mean, it'll work great if you're sitting further back like a TV, but if you're really close to it, you could see pixels and stuff like that. But it's usually, you know, panel, DPI, and yeah, DPI is the one that gets me because I don't want to see pixels. But I have considered it a few times. I have, and they're so cheap. Hey, Edster2309, resub Prime, 6 months. Thank you so much for the continued support. 6 months, thank you. Xavier D, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Cheer 301 bits. How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hopefully you got up in time. I know you work an odd shift, and so it's probably getting close to that time for you, I think. But hey, thanks for joining the stream. How's it going, Xavier? Good to see you. PC Geek, monitors are way better than using a TV. Yeah, that's what I found in kind of my research too. Even when I used to hook up, you know, PCs to TVs, I could always kind of tell, you know, when you get kind of close to them. That's why they cost so much more. Yeah. Let's see, 18-wheel Bray. I'm upgrading. I was like, upgrading. I don't know that word. I'm upgrading some of my Tiny Micro nodes. Nice. Okay, so Tiny Micros are always the one that are in between. They dance in between. Like, I'm not a Raspberry Pi. I'm not a full-fledged server. I'm not a full-fledged. Well, I am a full-fledged PC, and so those are always, I think, for most, like, you know, the go-to for, hey, I want to save power, but I don't want ARM. I don't want that low of a power. Well, at least Raspberry Pi type of compute, but upgrading Tiny Micros, interesting. Do you mean more RAM, more compute, or do you mean like upgrading and then deprecating or repurposing those to something else? Interesting. Let's see. Jen Orion, setting up a harvester cluster. Nice. That pops up every now and then, and both comments and chat, and I always wonder how people are doing. How's it going? I still have it installed on one of my test machines, and I'm curious, like, how's it working out? Because I know that, you know, they want you to have Rancher installed already in your environment. Don't have to, but they want you to have it installed. My dog's freaking out, probably because the mailman's here. But then you manage it with one sec. All right, he's not going to give up. He is not going to give up. You can hear him. That's Buddy, not Nano. Nano's so chill. Buddy's the one that's he just has this fire inside of him, and so if something sets him off, you better watch out. But anyways, yeah, curious to know what your thoughts are on Harvester. 1 second. Let me make sure everything's like okay. UPS. So yeah, UPS stuff was delivered, and my dog just went totally insane, like he normally does. But not that insane. And usually Nano, he doesn't bark at all. And now he started this thing where he's barking, and I'm like, what is going on? Anyway, sorry about that. Just had to make sure like someone wasn't like breaking into the house or something, because Buddy sounded like, you can tell by his intensity, like how close he is to this threat. And that sounded really close, because he, you know, it escalates. If you have dogs that bark at stuff, you know when the bark escalates beyond a certain point, you're kind of like, okay, now I should really check. That's where it was. It was like beyond that. So anyways, Harvester, how's it going? Let me know. I'd love to know, yeah, how it's going for you. Let's see, PC Geek, better text clarity and resolution options. Oh, going back to the TV thing, I agree. That's kind of what I found. The pixel density is so low on a TV that, you know, you could really see individual pixels. You know, it's you know, if I get really, you know, close enough to a monitor, I can see them, but on a TV, it's way more pronounced. Metroid Man, TVs have a high delay in comparison to pretty much anything. Oh, I didn't think about, yeah, response times too. That's a good point. It's a good point. That too, I totally agree. CBN Sandwich, that's what I'm going with. OpenID Connect servers for all my self-hosted apps that support it. That is awesome. Awesome. Yeah, so you're adding OpenID Connect, another form of, I think it's another spec or a spec that attaches onto OAuth. I forget what the exact technical term is, but I've used it before. Pretty awesome. I think it's like OAuth plus OpenID Connect, and you actually get more, information back in that payload when you authorize stuff. So pretty awesome. Awesome stuff. 18-wheeled Ray, I never realized how good these tiny micros are and what you can do with them. Okay, so that answers my first question. You are keeping it, which is awesome, and then you're upgrading them. So I'm betting more RAM and SSDs because that is awesome. PC Geek, digging this intro music. Oh yeah, thanks. Picked up a couple more songs that I used in today's video, and that's the trick. Whenever I release a video, I add them to the top of my playlist, so that usually that day my intro music is also the music that was also featured in my video. So yeah, awesome. Oh, I like it. Yeah, you guys like it. All right, I might have to keep that always for my intro then. I cranked it up too. I was like, I need to get amped up. CBN Sandwich also trying to bully Micro Center into opening a location in Miami. Yeah. I almost feel bad because a lot of my comments after I have a video sponsored by Micro Center, it's all these people like, why aren't you in Cleveland? Well, they probably are in Cleveland, but why aren't you in Miami? Why aren't you in this part of California? I have to drive 6 hours to get there and Fry's closed. I mean, it's all in good fun. I'm sure they like that too. It's not like they can open stores anywhere, but that's pretty awesome that, consumers are saying like, hey, why aren't you in my city? So pretty awesome. But they get it a lot. I think they understand, they're part of a a sector of the economy that's, has had its ups and downs, and some, retailers in that area haven't done so well, but they are. And I think, if you've ever been to one, it's pretty awesome. If you ever had the opportunity to go to one, because the way I look at it, it's definitely like Toys R Us. It reminds me of like when I was 10 years old, going in Toys R Us, just walking up and down every single aisle just to look at stuff, just in case I see something I like. Most of the times, at least when I was younger, I didn't buy anything. This time I'm a little bit older, so I can buy some stuff. So pretty awesome. Kai, got the LG C2 48 inches, and it's working out great so far. Awesome. So that's on your desktop? Oh, yeah. I got to check out this picture. Later. PC Geek, this must be a new Stream Beat song. This is actually not Stream Beats. I've been adding some songs to my playlist that aren't Stream Beats. So, yeah, I've kind of run out of songs that I like by them. Don't get me wrong. There's so many albums, but, I kind of go through and I hand pick songs that I like, that I use. I think I'm to the end. Have to get on Harris Heller and tell him to release more because I'm out. Not that I would be if I just played it in the background, but I handpick songs. Sigor, how's it going? What's up? 18-wheeled Ray, I like this music too. I like it. It's indeed party parrot. Yeah, there aren't any party parrots here, but I love it. Hi, Lude, how's it going? Late stream is still stream. Oh, thank you so much. I missed this one, 18-wheel Ray. It's nice to be home and off the road so I can watch the streams. That's good too, because I think last week you were like, yes, I'm on the road and I'm watching you. I was like, oh, please keep your eyes on the road. I think you just meant not at home. I Burley, first time being able to catch one of these live. Finally have Saturdays off. Nice. Congratulations on having your Saturday off. That's pretty awesome. And welcome. Thanks for coming to stream for the first time. Appreciate it. Hope it's everything you hoped it to be. Yakto, how's it going, man? This weekend is going to be all about getting my core services back on my LXD cluster. Nice. Also finding a way to use 3 of these NVIDIA DPUs. Yeah, I saw that in Discord. You mentioned you got these 3 NVIDIA DPUs, and I said you had me at NVIDIA because I don't know those models and what those devices are. I assume they're GPU like compute. But yeah, pretty awesome. Awesome that you're setting up an LXD cluster. So I assume it's Proxmox and setting up LXD cluster. I'm interested. My interest is piqued. I hope you get it done. I know how it goes when you have big plans for the weekend, and so I hope you nail it, and that and more, because it's always nice coming off a weekend and getting everything you wanted done and more. So. DZ, dude, what's up, Tim? Yeah, DZ, how's it going? It's been a while, but congrats on your 100K subs on YouTube. Thank you. Awesome to see progression. DZ, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hey, now, Craft on CU has resubbed Prime 4 months, 1 month streak. Always nice to watch your streams. More about Kate's would be nice. Oh, yeah, thanks. I released something on Kubernetes today. I need to get caught up on events too. When I stepped away, it looked like there are a few, but Craft on CU. That's what I'm going with. Sorry, I'm like shifting my weight, but something's wrong with my foot, and I'm trying to hide it, but it's killing me. Yeah, so as you said, more on Kate's. Yeah, I try to go back and forth between, homelab or homelab and clustering and some networking and Kubernetes mixed in there and trying to mix in some Docker. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, the rule on YouTube is, for the algorithm, is you always want to keep your current audience happy. That's tough when you do a variety of content. I mean, I know a lot of my stuff is in the home lab, so it's like, oh yeah, just make home lab content and it'll work. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. Anyways, long story short, I do have some more Kubernetes stuff coming. I released them today. I'm gonna keep trying to mix it in because I always need to keep my current audience happy. It's tough when you go, you release hardware stuff. Hardware stuff always does really good. Really good. New number one. Oh, number two, but tied with number one, or number three. And then you release something on Kubernetes, and I feel like, there's a small audience right now of people who are genuinely interested in Kubernetes. And that stuff doesn't do as well. So it's, it's kind of like, a 7 today, and then you release something on hardware and it's like, back to number one. It's like, why don't I keep doing hardware? But I can't afford to keep buying hardware. Anyways, long story short, I'm going to keep weaving it in for sure. Let's see. Denzi, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Never mind. 22. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. But DZ, yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. I totally, yeah, here we go. Twisted Grim, howdy, how's it going? 18-wheel Ray, I got to step up my game with a neuter network. I was like, neuter? Network switches to get on Techno Tim level, lol. I mean, it's not, now I feel bad for having a decent switch. Salvarius, resub, tier 1, 14 months. Let's go, man. 11-month streak. You snuck the stream in on us. I did. Mainly, I mentioned it earlier about my wife's birthday, so had to slide everything around. And then I will be trying to end this one on time, and I might jump in voice for about 30 seconds, but I want to do it to say, not to just say I did, but just to hang out for a little bit. But yeah, my Switch, it was not cheap. It was not cheap. And I'm already thinking, like, should I have gotten the one with 2.5 gigabit along with 10 gigabit? I'm like already playing this game, and I just bought the thing. I'm like, no, because that's another third of the cost. It's like another $500 on top of what I paid. I'm like, I can't do that. Can't do that. 1 or 10 for now. And if I really wanted 2.5, I have those SFP Plus, and I would figure it out. Blade WR, hello everyone. Happy birthday, Mrs. Techno Tim. Yeah, tell her. Sigor, I will tell her for sure. Happy birthday to the wife and a fellow birthday person. Yeah, not a snowman. Yeah, I met a few people with birthdays today. When we were calling bingo, there was a few people at the retirement community that also had birthdays today. I was like, wow, this is a popular birthday. What the heck was going on 9 months ago? It was cold and it's winter, it's December. Okay, I got it. Naroku, that's what I'm going with. Hey Tim, hope you're doing well. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Question for you. Do you ever get burned out on IT? Do you ever have those days or even a week and not doing, do you ever have those days or even a week not doing anything in your home lab? I used to. I used to, but now that I make content for it, it's kind of like my schedule now. I kind of have to. And then I launched this crazy thing called 100 Days of Home Lab, and now I'm like living it and breathing it. I was before, but now I added on some additional stuff. But anyways, do I ever get burned out? Sure. Yeah, I get burned out. I get burned out of everything. I mean, I love playing video games. Haven't played video games in a long time, but there are times when I'm just like, I'm done playing this game, or I get burned out on this, or I get, burned out on a lot of stuff. But yeah, usually I try to balance stuff out. It's hard for me to balance stuff out right now. Right now, my balancing stuff out is going between, home lab stuff and work stuff. And fortunately, even though they're both in IT, most of my work stuff is software development, so I'm writing code, and most of my home stuff is infrastructure and automating infrastructure and building out clusters and stuff like that. So there's enough separation in there to where, you know, I can take a break from each thing, but you know, that's daily. You know, during the day I'm writing code and building software. At night I'm doing infrastructure and automation. So yeah, you know, but I never truly get burned out to where I'm like, I'm done with this. But when you know, in the past where I started to feel like that, I would switch to something else. And that's why, like, yeah, in the past I would disappear. I would stop homelab stuff for a couple weeks and just pick up a game and go all in on some game, you know? And then it was like, okay, I'm done with this game. Like, now what? So you got to balance it out. For me, I don't think there is a balance. It's way off kilter, but you got to balance it out. Find something else you enjoy doing, and it's totally fine if you don't want to do it every single day. And sometimes all it takes is like being away from it, and you being away from it makes you think about it, or gives you better ideas of things to implement in your home lab, and then you go back to it. Or you find a new service or some other self-hosted service or something you hear about you want to do in your own home lab, and then you're like, yes, I can't wait to get back to it. So yeah, definitely try to find a balance. Me, yeah, there is no balance. It's all in. Crim Knight, hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. LMAO to the haha. Yeah. 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast franchise. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's right. It's about 3:55 there on the West Coast. Yeah. JG Rollum, here in New Zealand, it's Sunday morning already. Woo, yeah, it's early there then. Well, yeah, it's probably what, I don't know. I'm guessing 7:55 in the morning. I'm guessing. I don't know where you are exactly, your time zone. Franchise, hey, thank you so much. 100 bits. Thank you for the 100 bits. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Stone Cold Coder, I like it. I think if you're in Australia, it is already tomorrow. That is true. If you're even in Europe, it's already tomorrow. At least I think it is, because it's about what, almost 1 o'clock. No, it depends on where you are in Europe. But yeah, anywhere it's mostly tomorrow anywhere, but United States for now. That was me. Let's see, 18 wheel right. No, I upgraded. Okay, I got you. He upgraded. Add more time to it. Add more. Oh, let's see. Welcome, dude. Keep the content coming from my top 3 YouTubers, man. Thank you so much. Crim Knight, thanks for the sub, Prime sub. Thank you so much for spending your Prime sub on me. All right, those lights are getting a workout today. Thank you so much. Seagore, it took me 2 days to figure out how to get push notifications from a Home Assistant, but I think I finally got it. My freezer sensor set up an alert. I finally got my freezer sensor set up to alert me if the freezer gets too hot. Seagore, nice. I like where this is going. This is my kind of thing. That is awesome. Yeah. So interesting. So are you using like a third party, like independent temperature sensor, or are you using something that's built into your fridge? Because that's pretty awesome. And then yeah, I would love like leak detection too. That's the other one. I don't know. For some reason, I freak out about leaks, and I stress out about leaks a lot. But I've only had one ever, like twice in my life. But for some reason, the thought of just water running somewhere, I feel like I have to stop it. Shivs, hey guys, how's it going? Good to see you. Seagore, nice. I use pushover with OpenHab. Nice, PC Geek. Yeah, I hear a lot about OpenHab too. Let's see. I struggled for a month with Prometheus and Node Exporter, but I got it since now. Yeah, 18 wheel right. I remember that. We were talking on Discord, and I think iLoot helped you. Yeah, for sure. My side of town. All right. Hopefully not up there. How's 10 gig working for you, Blade WR? Yeah, good question. I would say it was great, but just recently, like last night, when I was trying to finish up that video, my NIC kept going offline. I'm like, oh great, what's going on now? And so like sometimes my NIC is negotiating at 10 gigs, sometimes it's negotiating at 1, and I'm like, this is exactly what I didn't want. So anyways, I set it to 1 gig now, only because I'm waiting on upgrading my storage server to really thoroughly test like 10 gig, like not only what I'm negotiating, but look at the switch for errors, and also see what my throughput is on a real world system, rather than like this test system that is a hodgepodge that I'll never use real world. So I'm waiting to upgrade my storage server. After I get that upgraded, I'm going to do some more networking testing. Hopefully I'm still going to get around 700-800 megabytes per second transfer. That's kind of what or 800, 8. Yeah, I'm like doing this math backwards. I'm hoping I get around the 8.5 gigabit that I was getting when I did my test. So I'm not fully there yet. And now yesterday and last night, like I was saying, I ran into some issues and it's not negotiating at 10 all the time, which worries me. I'm like, is it just because it's hot in the attic or what's going on? But I don't know. And then I started thinking, if this doesn't work, I'm just going to run fiber. And I'm like, why didn't I do that in the first place? I'm like, I know why, because I didn't want to climb in the attic. But yeah, thank you for asking. PC Geek, or Sigor, I found a tutorial that showed how to use HA app and how to set up SMTP notifications. So now it should email me if anything happens. That is awesome. That is awesome. Coloner, 1994. Anyone tried running an Intel NIC of M.2 WLAN for pfSense? Setting up my first home lab, pushing through the basics. Anyone tried running an Intel NIC off a M.2 WLAN? Oh, for pfSense? Ooh, I like where this is going. I like where this is going. So you have a M.2 slot that's specifically for that little wireless adapter that you plug in, like on laptops, but you want to put an Intel NIC inside of there, like not a wireless NIC with an antennas, but you want, a network interface card. To then use it as a router. I like where this is going. I mean, I'd say go for it. I'd try it. I mean, if they're cheap, go for it. I mean, I couldn't see it just like restricted to only certain types of M.2 devices. I'm sure that's just the slot where they put the wireless NIC for those devices. That's how my old Intel NIC was, the one that's back there. You had to like buy it separately and put it in there. So I say go for it. I'm sure if it's an M.2, it's PCI Express or something. So go for it. Yeah, go for it. If it's the one specifically for the NIC, I think it is. Is it M.2? I can't remember. Smash. I could never really figure out Grafana and Prometheus. Well, hopefully this helps you. I was the same way. Don't get me wrong. I feel your pain. I was the same way. I'm like, how does this huge contraption work? And now I think I kind of understand it. I mean, I understand it on a deeper level now, and it makes sense to me. I mean, it makes sense to me. It's just a series of stuff going on. It's more complicated than that, but high level. Yeah, Prometheus. It's this server, and it knows about different endpoints to scrape. The node exporter is an agent that gets installed on the nodes, which exposes endpoints, HTTP endpoints. For then Prometheus to go out and say, hey, give me your data, give me your metrics, and then store them. And then Grafana can come through and query and visualize that data. I mean, super high level, that's how it works. But I didn't even understand the bits and pieces. When I used Grafana and Prometheus and in places I worked, it was already set up. So, sometimes you don't know how the sausage is made until you have to make it. So yeah, that's what I was doing this week, was making sausage with Prometheus and Grafana. PC Geek, does your setup for monitoring Kubernetes still work if you have Grafana set up already for other stuff? Absolutely it does. Absolutely it does, because that's how I have it on my production cluster at home. So on my production cluster at home, I basically disable the Grafana install and just install Prometheus and Alert Manager, and then I install Grafana separately. And the same thing on the Loki stack. On the Loki stack, you can go and turn Grafana on if you want, or you turn Loki on and you turn Prometheus on. Well, I've disabled Grafana in that stack as well. So I have Loki stack, Grafana disabled. Then I have Prometheus stack, Grafana disabled. Then I install Grafana myself. And I thought that was for me the best way to do it, because one stack is for Loki stack, it's just Loki, everything to do with Loki. And then my Prometheus stack, everything to do with Prometheus and Alert Manager, kind of bundled it in there. Monitoring and alerting, put them together. And then Grafana itself, because, I didn't want to, I couldn't decide where it lived. So I'm like, you're going to live by yourself. And plus, there are other packages out there that give you high availability Grafana that were kind of cool and fun to play with. And I learned about that, the Kate's at Home. Kate's at Home Discord, as well as everyone who's using Kate's at Home. I kept seeing this, high availability Grafana thing, and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. So I kind of played with it and I got it working. So anyways, yeah, absolutely can. If you have Grafana installed already, you don't need to install it through there. You just tick it off. And then, you just need to make sure on Grafana, you point it to your Prometheus instance. And if you need help with that, I can give examples too on my home cluster for sure. 18-wheeled Ray, I have not watched a new vid where you go over everything and goes to the remote host system. Do you go over everything, how it goes? Yeah, so I go over most. Yeah, I go over setting it up and configuring it and everything like that. The one thing I don't go over yet is scraping data from external systems. So it's basically, scraping data from everything within Kubernetes, every nodes, pods, networking, everything within your cluster, all in one. Scraping external stuff will definitely be coming soon because it plays an important role when you start to talk about your network. Not everything's in Kubernetes. So, Twisted Grim, you just point Grafana at your Prometheus cluster. Yeah, thank you. Absolutely, for sure. Not a snowman. I don't know if you know, but there's an overlay in the middle of the screen that says Techno Tim Test. I know, but I think you mean this. Yeah, this was probably earlier. I'm looking at it. Hopefully that's okay. Let's see. Put all in Zabbix and forget about it. Yeah, that's true too. That is true too. There are lots of monitoring and metrics and logging systems for sure out there, for sure. I just kind of wanted to be in the Grafana ecosystem, mainly because I feel like that's a good skill to have, and a lot of enterprises uses it, and a lot of small companies use it too. It's open source, so I figured, hey, I'm gonna give this a shot just so I can talk intelligently about it. I mean, but then on the flip side, it's not like everyone uses this stuff. I use Loki. Not a lot of organizations use Loki. Everyone does the Elk stack with Elastic, and Logstash and Kibana, which is totally awesome. But that's a lot of resources for, a home lab. So, but I kind of wanted to just kind of live in the Grafana ecosystem, at least in my cluster and in my home lab for now, and see how it is. And so far it's pretty good. Twisted Grim, PagerDuty, Ops Genie, yeah, no way. Yeah, it's like, how enterprise do I want to be at home? I don't really want to go that far and install PagerDuty and Ops Genie and get all kinds of alerts going off all the time. Who knows? I think once I wire up Alert Manager, I'll see a lot more errors and a lot more alerts than I'm used to seeing. Right now, I have simple uptime checks, and health checks, and Kubernetes usually works most of those out. So I feel like there's a lot of tuning in my future if I do turn this on, for sure. I remember when I turned it off with Rancher, and it was like non-stop alerts in my Discord channel, in my own personal Discord server, and I was like, I got to turn this off. I'm just going back to simple health checks. But I do want to wire some smart ones. If my CPU is higher than 50% for 10 minutes, I want to know about it. What's pegging my CPU? I feel like these are good ones to set up. Network down on one of my NICs, as long as it has another NIC. Yeah, tell me about it. Or I can't get an IP address on one of these NICs. Like those types of things, I definitely want to know about for sure. And I like to set them up. Same with temperatures. Temperatures in my servers. I want to know that. If the temperature is higher than a certain threshold for a certain period of time, tell me. Same with a lot of other things. What I don't want to have happen is just like this waterfall floodgate of this service is down, this service is back up, this is, all those alerts. It's going to be hard to kind of tune out that noise, but that's going to be my goal if I do set up Alert Manager the way I want to go, because, I want to know about, physical stuff too, how hot are hard drives, are things pegged, things like that. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Alfie Charles, have you thought about using Grafana for building a magic mirror? Those look pretty cool. Yeah, no, magic mirror is on this list of stuff. One day I wish I had enough time to do, because they look so awesome. It looks so awesome. There's a lot of work involved to get a magic mirror going, and I'm not talking the software hardware piece of just configuring it, because that's another conversation. Just like acquiring and building the whole DIY piece and getting a monitor and all of that, and the special two-way glass. That's a lot of work. So I'd love to do it. It sounds awesome. I have seen so many awesome, pictures or things on Reddit of people's magic mirrors, and I'm just like, that would be so great. But They do look cool. I totally agree. Grafana stuff would be cool too. It would be awesome if I could get some Grafana metrics up and watch too. It's going a little too far, but it would be cool if I could just kind of at a glance, see how things are doing. Just bubble up the most critical stuff. For me, it'd be what? Server temperature, probably my up and down network metrics, CPU temp, hard drive IO. Latency, stuff like that. But yeah, it sounds awesome. I think I found LO Maxwell. What is going on? I'm glad to be back, man. Oh yeah, from yeah. So you're not out on the road. That is awesome. Let's see. Now the overlane just okay. Not a snowman. Thank you. Yeah. Sometimes it does get hung up. Hopefully it's okay. Let's see. 3 Pork Chop Express. All right, I like where this is going. Hey Tim, just about to start my 100 days of homelab. Awesome. Fishing with my son. You fish? Yeah, man. I love fishing. I honestly do love fishing. When it rarely comes up, even though I live in Minnesota, like so many people fish here, but it rarely comes up in conversation. And then as soon as somebody mentions fishing, I talk about, hey, back in Indiana where I'm from, we'd always fish largemouth, and we'd fish with jitterbugs, you name it, jitterbugs, crawlers, spinner baits, buzz baits, all this stuff, and people are like, whoa, you like fishing? Like, what is this guy even saying? And so yeah, I do enjoy fishing. I don't get to do it enough. I need to carve out some time to do fishing. Buddy of mine, Huey, every summer here we go out, 2-3 times a season, but we haven't done it yet. So I need to call on Huey and say, dude, let's go. So anyways, awesome. I do enjoy fishing. I enjoy it so much. I love it. I've loved it since I've been a kid. My dad, taught me how to fish, and I love it. It's so relaxing to get out in the water and to fish and find your bait and try to figure out where the fish are and are they biting. And even if they're not biting, you're still out in the water, so it's still fun. I thoroughly enjoy it. I really do. But anyways, awesome that you're fishing with your son. Enjoy it. Enjoy. Don't start 100 Days of Homelab. Enjoy the time with your son, and especially enjoy fishing. 100 Days of Homelab will be there when you get back. Also, I'm glad that you're starting later too, because that's pretty awesome. A lot of people in the beginning are like, oh, I missed it, and maybe next time. And it's like, no, you can start anytime you want. You don't have to start when I do. So anyways, 3 Pork Chop Express. Enjoy your time fishing with your son. 100 Days of Homelab will be here when you get back. JGG Rollum, cold here in the southern hemisphere. Yeah, it is. Yeah, because it's, we're in summer, you're in winter. Yeah, for sure in the southern hemisphere because the wobble of the earth. And so we're on a different season than you guys down there. Pretty awesome. I could take some cooler weather right now. I'm kind of summered out. And that's weird because I feel like summer just started, but I'm kind of summered out. And I'm not a huge fan of summer anyways. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy being outside when I can, kinda, but I don't do well in heat. I don't do well in heat at all. I'm just like, oh, it's so hot. Let's get, I need to do something else. But in this summer, it's just been I can't even do anything. It's been so hot and dry. Anyways, hopefully we get some cooler weather here too. Smart mirrors. Oh yeah, for sure. Magic Mirror though is the project. Magic Mirror is the project name. I think the software that you install on Android that gives you a Magic Mirror. So it's pretty awesome. I've looked into them quite a bit. Let's see. Smash. We don't really get great weather here in the UK, but had our hottest recorded day ever on Tuesday. I saw that. There's a few people I follow on Twitter, and they're all talking about it's so hot. It's so hot. It's so hot. And then I think the heat finally broke. Maybe it was yesterday on someone's Twitter account. They were like, oh, it's cool and rainy and gloomy. And they were so glad. And it sounded so weird for someone from the UK to say that because, that's what you hear about the weather always is over there. And so, stay cool. Yeah, it's been hot everywhere for sure. 18 Wheel Ray, let's see. Dude, mini split is power efficient and easy on the electric bill. Yeah, for sure. For sure it is. And then you get a multiple zones too, which is awesome. Let's see. Same in Belgium, warm there too. All right. Franchise. Yeah. Flash and smart plugs with Tasmota. Okay. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's open source firmware. Is it for TP-Link stuff? I think it's for TP-Link stuff that people use, which is pretty awesome because then you don't need to use the vendor's firmware, which is nice because then if the vendor discontinues their hardware, then at least you have a solution. So pretty awesome. And then you can disable all the stuff they're doing for tracking too. So, but awesome. Wow, I can't believe I remembered that. Let's see. Kingpin. 2 ventilation circuits will do the job. Yeah, you sound like you know HVAC. We need to chat because I know what you're saying, but I don't know exactly how to do that. I think you mean like, there's air coming in and air going out. I'm so uneducated when it comes to HVAC type stuff, but yeah, I need to figure a way to get, that hot air out. And then I feel like if I pull hot air out, it'll just pull the cooler air into there. But yeah, at some point, yeah, I have some stuff coming, but hybrid cloud on days like this or weeks like this is sounding more and more enticing. Maybe I should pull that content up a little bit further. Twisted Grim, someone asked about 10 gig network question. I'll kick off that and ask, how did you end up with a 48 port PoE versus getting the 8 port aggregation? Yeah, I've been contemplating how to do it. I guess rack space. Yeah. So I bought the 48 port. I had a 24 port before that. It only had 2 10 gig SFP plus ports on there. SFP plus, I guess I should just say. And after I got it, I filled all 24 ports. Albeit not all of them were terminated to things. They went to ports in my house along with ports and servers and ports, all over the place. But I ran out of ports and I was like, okay, now like every time I felt like I was back in tech support. Oh, this one's offline. I'll go downstairs and go patch it in and go back upstairs. Okay, now this device can get online and so on and so forth. I was doing that so much, I was just like, I'm just going to get the 48 port. Like, it sounds kind of superfluous, and it kind of was, but I was just kind of tired of doing that whole patch game all the time. And so I really, out of it, I wanted more PoE ports for cameras, for Pis, for access points, for all the things that have power over PoE, and some more stuff coming soon. So I was like, okay, this is what I should have done in the beginning, and that's the way I went. So it was a bonus that switch that I was upgrading to also had additional SFP plus ports. Outside of me doing video editing remotely, and when I say remotely, remote storage, I mean from here to my server rack. I don't have like a huge need for 10 gig. Like 1 gig is great for everything that I do, except for when I edit, 4K video over the network. It just chugs because I'm not just editing one 4K thing. When I'm editing like my videos, I have multiple layers of videos in a project, and it just kind of gets kind of slow. I mean, similar to what you saw with Jeff Geerling, what he's doing with 2.5 gig, same thing. It's the same idea that I've been talking about. Is I want to be able to edit, my video over the network, and so I have this whole entire process that I do every time I record. I create low versions of each video that I import. They're called proxies. Keep them on my local machine. I work on them all there. I have to remember to go and put those on my server every night, and hopefully cross my fingers like I don't lose work if a hard drive dies. I don't want to worry about that anymore, and I want to just basically edit over the network off my NAS directly. And so it's tough when you have 4K video. It's tough. So that's the thing that's driving it. But going back to the 8-port aggregation, I did consider it, but I was like, okay, now between my UDM that has 2 SFP plus ports and my new switch has 4, I have a total of 6. Obviously one is taken on each to do the uplink, but I have a lot of ports left, so I'm okay for now. But the aggregation switch does look pretty awesome for sure. That could be the core of my backbone. If I ever move to another house and I have like other switches that aren't in my rack, yeah, that's the way I'll go. It'll just be my aggregation. Fiber to there, and from there to then remote switches. Like if I had a switch here in my office, yeah, I totally would have done it. I totally would have done that. And now that I have an extra 24 port switch, I'm like, how can I mount it in here? It's coming soon. So anyways, lots of ideas. You must check JGC Rollum. You must check Tasmota. Let's see. PC Geek. Tasmota is firmware for MQTT with some ESP8266 based hardware devices. Nice. Yeah, I need to look into this for sure. For replacement. It is bright in here. Oof. Smash 1980. I think all of Europe was about the same this week. Yeah, it was for sure. Yeah, a lot of the world was like blazing hot for sure. Kingpin, one to spin the hot air inside the house during the winter. One to spin the hot air inside the house during the winter. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's why, like during the winter, I'm just like I just let it go, just let it go. But you know, in the summer, it's just this beast, and it just kind of stinks because my server rack, you know, the coolest air now that it's getting is around, you know, upper 70s. So it's pulling that in and heating that up and spitting that back out. And, you know, it's just this vicious cycle of now the fans need to kick on higher because the ambient temps are getting higher. And yeah, it's basically, you know, on its way to, I feel like just some crazy meltdown. It's okay. It's not that hot in there for sure. But I mean, you know, my server room, the temps in there are 80, but it's a small room. But I should do something about it soon. 18-wheel Ray AC Infinity T6 inline fan with 500 plus CFM. Interesting, yeah. I need to look into some of this stuff for sure, for sure. I kicked this can down the road. So I did this upgrade to that server room. It was, you know, roughly the end of fall, getting close to winter. And I was like, sweet, I don't need to worry about AC until the spring or whatever. I don't need to worry about cooling it ever, you know, well, not ever, but you know, until now. And I still didn't figure it out. I'm still thinking in the back of my head, can I kick this can further down the road and get by a little bit longer and wait and figure it out next year? I don't know though. I don't know. That's pretty cool. Let's see. And one to send the hot air outside during the summer. Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I mean, circulating that warm air during the winter is kind of easy. Put the box fan the other way. But blowing it outside is the hard part for me, you know, during the summer, which is right now. That's the hard part. How do I get it outside? And I have a little vent in there. But no easy way to attach stuff to it. And I'd love to figure out, you know, if you've ever seen glass block windows and you see the one with the vent in it, I have one of those standard vents in that server room. And I wish someone made an attachment where I could just attach it to there and then put some fans on it. And then I could just open the vent and blow the air out. But I haven't seen anything. I've seen them, like people build those vents with fans built in. But you got to build them in at the time you get the glass block window built, and I didn't do that. Maybe I should have, but yeah, I got to figure it out. I wish someone made an attachment. I've looked all over on the internet. I can't find anything, but I wish there was a way to attach, even if it was suction cups, onto the windows so I could attach some fans so then I could blow some air out. That would be awesome. But haven't found anything yet. It's very similar to like what you need to do in a bathroom with the shower if you just want to blow, you know, moisture out. It's very similar, but for some reason it's hard to find this stuff. Probably because there are legitimate ways to do it, unlike what I'm trying to hack together. Sigor, I have a TV as a monitor, but only out of necessity. Okay, so I know people do it, and I'm not putting it down. I would love to know too. Callie asked this earlier. I asked this in Discord a while ago, and I know a lot of people do it. I would love to do it right here. I would love my main monitor. I would love to have a 4K, you know, big monitor right here, and I have a 4K that's only like 28 inches. It's still decent size, but you know, with my eyes, I'm squinting. So I would love a big TV right there for sure. Let's see, Xavius, I was up at 3:15, but you were not. I know, I apologize. I posted in Discord, man, but good to see you. Not a snowman, could be very well. Another streamer who's further Eastern Europe also had the warmest day ever recorded on Tuesday. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, it's warm everywhere. Edster, I just got a ML 110 with a 16 core Xeon E4. Nice, 16 cores, probably 32 threads. Wow, that is pretty awesome. So you're setting it up. That is awesome. All right, guys. I'm gonna look for mentions only because my wife's birthday. So I started a little over an hour ago, and so I'm gonna be calling it here soon. But I'm gonna look for mentions. I think it's cool what Micro Center does, but that Micro Center does sponsor builds for content creators to give away, not naming names, just what they do in general. Yeah, I totally agree. Like I'm so fortunate that Micro Center picked me for sure. Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better sponsor. It's a company I believe in. They're in, you know, my city, in my wheelhouse. I love going there. I've always said good things about them. even before, you know, this sponsorship. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better one. So I'm totally grateful for it for sure. 18-wheel Ray Micronodes also have a Core i7. Oh yeah, nice, and a 10700T CPU, 8-core, 16 threads, so plenty of horsepower. Yeah, for sure, for sure. They are so awesome. At some point, I'm going to get my low power rack or low power stack, maybe a rack, hopefully in the same rack, together soon, to where I can fail over to something lower power. But at the same time, if I want to, you know, save some electricity, fail over to that too. But I got to figure out the whole Plex thing. Maybe when I do that, just no transcoding, which is totally fine with me because most of my devices support direct play anyways. Killerman, Techno Tim, I'm considering between two used HP Dell desktops for PFSense, OpenSense router. Can't really decide between HP with an i7 and 64 gigs of RAM, or the Dell with the i3 6100 and 16 gigs of RAM. I kind of want to future-proof up to 10 gig speeds, routing and NAT. What would you recommend? So an i7 6700 or an i3. So an i3 is basically like dual core, right? An i7 is going to be 4 cores, 8 threads. I don't know. This is a tough one. I mean, if there's not much difference between the two in price, I would just say, you know, go with the i7 6700. And that'll definitely future-proof you. You want to do 10 gig speeds through routing and NAT. Through NAT, I mean, at some point, if you're going to end up turning on, you know, IDS and IPS, so intrusion detection, prevention, and intrusion detection, IDS, intrusion detection system, and IPS, intrusion prevention system. If you're going to turn those two things on, it's going to use a lot of compute, especially the higher in the bandwidth you go. So I mean, if you want to do 10 gig through there, to be honest, I don't even know if those CPUs could keep up with something like that to be able to scan, you know, do deep packet inspection of 10 gigs worth of traffic coming through there. I mean, maybe it can. I've never looked into it, but you know, even modern stuff have a hard time on 1 gig, you know, scanning that stuff. Anyways, long story short, if you're talking about future proofing, I would say go with the one that has more compute and more RAM, because I mean, if that's your goal, for sure. But then, you know, then there's on the flip side. Well, then am I, you know, if I never use that compute, am I just leaving, you know, CPU on the table? And maybe you are, and that's okay because you want to future proof. So I don't know. I would look at what kind of CPU you need to do IDS and IPS if you plan on doing it for 10 gig. I'm thinking you only mean internal routing, which would totally be fine. You wouldn't do IDS and IPS on there. You'd only do it through the WAN. But I could be wrong. You never know. Ant Sweatpants. Glad I could catch the stream. Any thoughts on an E2176G? I'm thinking of using that for my dedicated Plex and possibly remote gaming server. The integrated GPU has me interested for quick sync. So I don't know this specific CPU, but you mentioned the iGPU has quick sync. If it has quick sync, yeah, I'd say go for it. I don't have a ton of experience in quick sync, but you know, it's very similar to what GPUs offer as far as like encoding. So it can offload encoding to some other chip on there. Quick sync is what people use to do that. I would say if it's a good deal, go for it. But then again, you know, see how much power it draws too. I don't know how many cores and stuff are on this exact CPU. So I don't have personal experience with it. But if you're going for, you know, it's a dedicated machine to do Plex, to do a lot of stuff, and you're getting a good deal on it, and you can use quick sync to do transcoding for Plex versus putting a whole, you know, video card in there, I'd say go for it. Go for it. I'm usually a go for it person. I'm usually a try and let me know, but if it's a good deal and it's not going to be, drawing too much power, I say go for it. Let's see. All right, I got to look for him. There are people sneaking him in. Let's see. Techno Tim, finish up my gaming server swap on the Silverstorm 4U chassis. The H212 Evo cooler was too tall, I assume. So swap for a short cryo rig, H7, swapped out the 3 80mm fans. It's dead silent now. Nice. About to About to put it back in the rack today after I finish up everything. Awesome. So you swapped out your gaming server. You put it inside of a rack mount PC case, Silverstone. Wow, man, high class. Silverstone, nice case. And you're going to rack it up now. Or you got it racked. You're going to rack it up, but you got it swapped out. That is awesome. That is awesome. I love my PC conversion. It's still in my rack. It takes a 4U, but it's a good 4U well spent. Plus, I love having things in my rack. At some point, I'm going to end up racking my main machine in my own room because it's so nice having things tidy like that. Crim Knight, hi, I'm new here and actually found you by mistake. Not sure how I got to your channel, but I'm a PC tech with 26 plus years experience. Awesome. I'm a disabled American vet. Thank you for your service. I saw the video about the perfect game server. I joined your Discord. Oh man, you're doing all the right things. Love it. I've been here for a couple of hours waiting for you to get here. Oh, I'm sorry. So I wouldn't miss the stream. I will be setting up something like that. Would love some tips. Have you been going back and forth with Windows and Linux? You have been. First of all, like I said, thank you for your service. Second of all, I don't know how you found me either, but thank you for joining. Thanks for joining the stream. I apologize. I'm usually roughly 3 Central Time, Chicago time. And today I put in Discord that I was going to be a little bit later or not at all. So I apologize, and thanks for hanging out until you get here. Yeah, so the perfect game server, that was all about setting up Pterodactyl so that you could have a game panel to manage nodes or servers that ran game servers. So it's kind of like this orchestrator and management of other game servers. Pretty awesome product. And on top of that, it's all built on top of Docker, so it makes it super easy to manage and upgrade and all of that. It is not very easy to configure, as you saw probably in that video. Configuring it out of the box seems like, yeah, this should work. I've done Docker stuff before. But when you start mixing in, using certificates and using a reverse proxy, it can get complicated quick. And I think that the way that they have it configured makes it a little more complicated too. Not saying it's bad architecture. I couldn't think of a different way, but there are a few, few dragons in there that I had to figure out where they were and slay them. So anyways, long story short, my tip is if you're going to do that, look at the Docker Compose file that I have. If you are considering doing it and you haven't set up a reverse proxy yet, and you're thinking about having, TLS certificates internally on your network, figure that out separate. Do that first and figure it out separate and treat that as like another project. I wouldn't go into this saying like, yeah, I'm going to do, set up Pterodactyl today. Oh, and might as well set up a reverse proxy. Reverse proxy internally with certificates is another challenging one. So I would say, if you haven't done that, I would definitely set up, reverse proxy. If you're going to use traffic or whatever you're going to use as your next proxy manager, whatever it is, set that up and get that working first. That will make everything on Pterodactyl a lot easier. Or you could just not use TLS internally, especially for Pterodactyl, and it's a lot easier. So those are my tips. If you run into problems, let me know. 18 Will Bray, I ordered 2 USW Pro 24 for 10 gig backhaul across the house. Man, you are going all out. Xavier's D, let's see. That's me. You mentioned I hadn't seen for a week in Discord a few weeks ago. Yeah, there was a wipe in Escape from Tarkov, the shooter game. So I was playing the new wipe. Awesome. Yeah. I did say that last time. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you in a while. He's off gaming. So he's okay. And we talked last week in Discord, so I knew you're okay. But I was like, man, Xavier's D, I haven't seen him in a while. Hopefully he's okay. Okay, guys, I do apologize if I got to skip over this stuff, but only because it's my wife's birthday and we're gonna go to dinner. Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Sorry I was a little bit late. I did mention it. Hey, all right, let's get these lights going at the end. Franchise, thanks for the cheer. 200 bits. Thank you. I want to change my own lights in here to that color, whatever that was. It could stay. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. If you have any questions or comments or want to connect with people more or want me to follow up on stuff, Join our Discord. We have a large Discord server. We're 7,300, I think. I didn't do the status lately. Roughly over 7,000 people in a Discord server. Lots of people talking about tech, solving problems. We have channels for every kind of tech you could possibly imagine. And on top of that, it's a great place to kind of disconnect sometime. If you're burnt out on work or burnt out on other things, you could come into our Discord server and get some ideas or just hang out and chat. It would be awesome. As I mentioned, we usually jump in voice chat afterwards. We've been calling it the after party. I might jump in here if there are people in there. There are a few people in there. I'm going to jump in there because I always do, and I'm going to actually jump in there immediately after this starts. If you wanna talk some more or share some more stuff, you don't even have to say anything. We're going to jump in voice. It looks like people are in Azeroth. That's where I'm going. So I'm going to be there as soon as this stream ends. If you're not on the Discord server, use !Discord, or there are like tons of links down there, or it's technotim. No, not there. I could put it there. It's discord.gg/technotim. So they gave me a fancy URL and we recently got partnered. So pretty awesome. Anyways, I'll stop talking. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for the bits, the follows, the cheers. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. I will have something out hopefully this week. I'm working on something a little bit bigger, so this might take a little bit more time. I almost said it a few times too, but I won't. And then I will definitely be back next Saturday on Twitch and the normal time, the 3 Chicago time, Central time. So I'll be back there. So anyways, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. It's Saturday, so it's Saturday night. Yeah, and I'll be in Discord here in a few. And take care, folks. Be good to each other.